I guess an advice would just be to be really patient and not to give up, because it takes a long time. Maybe if you find the right person, and they teach you, I guess, how to do it a little quicker, then, it's good, that you could do it a little faster. But I think for the majority, it just takes a long time. So I would just say, be really patient and just don't quit.
Hello, trader world, and welcome back to our interview series here at Instant Funding. Today you are in for a treat. We have a brand new trader here with us today. Leo, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk with us today.
Thanks for having me on here.
Yes, sir. Our pleasure. Is this your first interview?
Yeah, it's my first interview.
Nice. Congratulations. I'm happy that your first one is able to be here with us at Instant Funding today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad.
Your name is Leo. Tell us how old you are and where you're from.
My name's Leo. I'm born in the United States, but right now I live in Mexico. Been out here for a while now.
How old are you, Leo?
I'm 28 years old. I just turned 28 last week, actually.
28. How long you been trading for?
I've been trading for about, I want to say 7 or 8 years, roughly. I haven't been profitable for 8 years, It's been a while, but I guess I've known about trading for about 7, 8 years, but I haven't actually been trading every single day for 8 years, I've only been, really in the charts every single day for about 2 years, I want to say now.
So you first heard about trading 7, 8 years ago. How did you hear about trading?
One of my friends knew somebody that was trading Forex, and, he just told me about it, and I didn't think nothing of it. I went home and I asked him again. I said, hey, what was he doing? And he said, Forex.com. So I pretty much went online and found Forex.com, and I downloaded their platform, It wasn't anything like MT5 or nothing. It was just, their platform. And I downloaded it and opened up a demo account, and at the time, there wasn't really anything. I mean, this was, I want to say, back in 2016. I couldn't really find any information online, not too much, so I kind of just started messing with this. I figured out, what the margin was, what the take profits were, what lot sizes, and that's pretty much how I found it, It was just Euro USD mainly, I really had no idea what it was, I just kind of just figured it out. Yeah, I was in the United States when I heard about it, and really just that's how I came up across it. And I opened up a demo account right away, like I said, and I want to say somewhere in August when I found out about it. I took that month trying to figure it out. September and October, I opened up my first live account with Forex.com, and I only did about $700. And I mean, I didn't have much money at the time, so I put $700 in the account, and I want to say in about 2 weeks, I flipped it into, I want to say about 1,300. I withdrew the money, and they actually sent the check to my house, and that's kind of when I knew that it was real, I was like, oh, it's not a scam, it's real. And that's when I kind of knew that this is what I wanted to do. When you first start, you kind of get lucky. I want to say that I got lucky when I got that first withdrawal, I didn't really know what I was doing, and, I got the money, withdrew it, and then, I said, I'm going to come back and do it better. I deposited more money, and I lost it. And that's kind of on the journey that I went on for the next, a couple of months. I would work, save up some money, deposit in the account, and then it would be gone. And, right before I can actually get to zero, I would withdraw the money. And that just kept happening, over and over and over. I haven't actually been trading for 8 years. I have, but not consistently, because when I would take those losses, I wouldn't be motivated to keep trading, just because they were just taking my money.
So when you first opened this account with Forex.com, did you have some type of strategy you had learned, or something you found online, or you kind of were just figuring it out on your own?
I was just kind of figuring it out. I would watch some videos, and I would see, trend lines and support levels and stuff like that. And I mean, I had been doing it for a month, I had no idea what I was doing, but that's kind of what I was trying to do, following trend lines. And I found out about Fibonacci and stuff, and I was trying to do, like the 618 retracement and just stuff like that. But I mean, I had no idea, I wasn't looking at the higher time frame. I was just, really on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute. I mean, I just had no experience really.
Hearing your first experience is different, because that's not usually how it goes. Usually the person deposits and
Yeah.
they instantly blow it. To hear that you flipped it and you even, you withdrew it, right? You made profit.
Yeah.
That's such a difference. Do you think if you would have blown that initial deposit, that maybe that would have changed something for you, or do you think it would be the same story?
I knew it was real, but I think even if I would have took the loss, I would have kept doing it because the way that the P&L moves is just kind of hard to explain to somebody that doesn't do it, but it does have that effect on you, how fast it moves. And when you do a demo account and you have 100,000, 200,000 in a demo account and, you enter position sizes and when it does go up your way, you see the P&L and you see the amount of money, then like, it could be real, So I think even if I would have blew it, I knew that this was something that I wanted to do just because of the gains that I was seeing even on the demo account. That withdrawal just made me realize like, oh, it is real, this is possible that somebody can do it. I actually still have that first check that I ever got from forex.com.
Oh, really? Nice.
I still have it to this day.
Smart. That's smart. Get it framed.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first time, even though I had no idea what I was doing, but I got it.
It works out the first time. Every time after that, it sounds like you go on the opposite journey. Losing, losing. You don't let the account blow. You at least keep some of the capital. So what happened where it started switching for the better? Where you're like, okay, I can't keep doing it. I can't keep working, depositing money, and then blowing it in a week or two. What changed?
I think what really changed is I was blowing these accounts because I was trying to make massive amounts of money with very little capital. And I know what I did the first time with $700, turn it into 12, 1300, whatever it was. I mean, that's a big return. It might not seem a lot in the dollar amount, but I mean, that's a big return. And, when I was depositing money into these accounts, I was thinking that I could do the same thing again, almost doubling the account, 100% return. And it could be done, but it's not easy and it's not something that you can be doing consistently. So, I kind of realized that maybe the trading wasn't the problem. It was just more of a capital issue. So I kind of stopped doing it because I didn't have the capital. I knew that maybe 5-10% a month was a pretty good goal, and like something that I could do. But I didn't really have the capital. So once I realized that, I just started, taking it slowly. And I just realized that I wasn't going to make all kinds of money overnight, it was just a slow grind. And that's kind of how I took it in. And that's how I kind of got back into it. I didn't go in with the mindset of I'm going to flip this account again. And things started getting a little better, but I still wasn't consistent. I would still lose, and then I would quit for 3, 4, 5 months, and then come back, try it for 2 months, and then quit for another 6 months, and I just wasn't taking it serious at the time. So I feel that things really changed for me once I said, I'm gonna show up to the charts every day and really look at the markets every day, and that's when things really changed for me. In my honest opinion, it's not so much of what you're doing, is just how much work you're putting into it.
Win, loss, no matter what, you made the decision that you were going to show up.
At this point, it was already, I had been doing it for about 6 years. And, I said, you know what? I feel like it's time. I'm going to take it serious. I'm really going to commit to it this time. And I remember it was January of 2023. I said, this year, I'm going to figure it out. I always said I was going to figure it out. I just didn't know when. And, I just said, it's time. I'm going to figure it out. And I started showing up every single day. And, I was doing it with my own money, the live accounts. There was a Forex broker, and then I ended up finding out about the NASDAQ and, US 30 or the Dow, all that stuff. But I couldn't really trade it on an account. I needed a lot of money. So I went through an unregulated broker. That's when I first seen how the NASDAQ and all those things work, all the indices. So, I kept trading it with my own money again, and I just kept losing and losing. And then eventually I came upon funding accounts. My issue was that I didn't have the capital. And once I found about funding companies, it motivated me more to keep showing up because I knew that, maybe the capital wouldn't be the issue anymore.
So you learn about these prop firm accounts. You decide to take the first challenge, whoever that may be with. That's what, 24, sometime last year, right? So how did that first challenge go?
So the first challenge that I took, probably most like everybody, I blew it, in a couple of days. I think it was like a 50,000, the first one that I bought, because I wasn't too sure how they worked, but I lost it, and then I ended up getting another one, 100,000. I actually passed it I passed both phases, and then when I passed it, that prop firm got shut down. It was about somewhere last year in July, so it got shut down, and I didn't get my money back. Nothing happened, and so I looked for more, and I took a few more, and I failed them, and I failed them, and I want to say in about August, I came up you know smart money concepts online, and once I found that out, then immediately everything changed. Like a month later, everything just changed for me.
2023, right? When you decide to start taking it everything serious, are you still using the same strategy, the support and resistance, the trend lines? Are you still trading that way?
Yes, at the beginning, that's what I was doing. Trend lines, support and resistance. I would honestly go on YouTube, try to learn from people, try to make my own strategy. And that's what I was doing, and I passed an account using those strategies and stuff. After that, it's when I found out about, smart money concepts through ICT. And, literally a month after I discovered that, I bought another funding account and I just passed it. Everything that I had learned prior to that, it kind of just went away. I kind of realized that it didn't make sense for me, and what I found from him, just worked for me. I think all strategies work. It's just some strategies work different for people, but I mean, his strategies, they just clicked for me, and that worked for me. So I'm very grateful that I found that.
When you switch the strategy, right? You find something new. Was it difficult for you to unlearn everything you had learned already, or was it able to just forget it overnight?
Honestly, I just forgot it. Just because thinking about it, it just everything just clicked to me, and then I started looking at the charts, and I would, see where I would buy or where I would sell, and then learning these new concepts, and it just clicked. It's just something that I can't explain. It just made sense for me as soon as I found it. It wasn't like a next day thing. Like it still took me a while to get familiar with the concepts and see them. But they were very obvious to me, like right off the bat.
You find this new strategy, right? Psychology wise, mentally wise, right? Do you think you were the same person in, I don't know, let's say June versus August when you started learning these new concepts? Or was it just the strategy, like just the missing link?
Honestly, even till this day now that I am profitable, I still struggle a lot with like psychology part, and but when I found out about this new methods and these new strategies, it really boosted my confidence. It kind of gave me more hope, that I could be successful doing this, but it didn't fix my psychology. And, I would say that 90% of this is all psychology. I mean, the strategies, in my opinion, all strategies can work, but if your psychology is not there, then you're not going to do anything in the space.
So, what do you do now that it's over a year being right profitable? We can say, right? The new strategy, you start passing prop firms, you start getting payouts, withdrawals. What do you do along the way to help your psychology?
One thing that I would say that helps me is just trying to be patient. I realized, throughout my track record that I would lose a lot when I would take a lot of trades. Just being impatient and just, I think the problem that we all have as traders is most of us are just really in a rush to make money. So you just rush the process. You take setups that aren't there, and I think that's a really big part in the psychology is have the rush to make money. That just it just really messes with you, especially if you're just trading full time and you don't have another source of income. It's just really hard. I guess I what I could say is just being patient. I think is really what you have to master, and I think a lot of the things started falling into place.
Do you trade by yourself, or are you part of friends, a community, anything like that?
Yes, I am in a community with some friends, and I like trading with them. I like to be around other traders. I like to talk to them because I feel like we have a lot in common. But I like to trade by myself. I see my own setups. I take my own setups. I try not to see what other people are doing when I'm trading because, if I'm, maybe bullish for the day and they're saying they're bearish, then I can kind of get in the way in my head, and I start thinking otherwise, and so I just try to just trade by myself, and if I see something that I feel confident, then I'll take the trade. If I see it and if I don't feel confident, then I won't take it. You really have to be just confident in the trades you take, just even holding them.
You're part of the communities, right? To talk trading, to talk shop. But when it comes to actual positions and trading, you prefer to just be by yourself?
I prefer to be by myself. Even the people that I talk to, we all trade the same concepts, same strategies. We're looking for the same things, but sometimes somebody might have a different bias for the day. I might be bullish, I might be bearish, or I talk to people that trade just like me, but I try to just look at the charts by myself in the morning without knowing their bias or their opinions for the day. Come up with my own bias, and I'll share my ideas and stuff, but I'll try not to get influenced by other people's ideas. Just when you're in there, you kind of just like you're blinded out. If they have, I just don't like to take other people's trade because you just don't know what they're seeing. We all look at different things on the graphs. So
Right, right. Would that happen often to you in your journey where you would maybe you were bullish and somebody influences you and then you change your mind, then you start doubting yourself and then you don't even know what to do?
oh yeah, definitely. I think for a while I was trading a little bit of gold, and I used to have a lot of people on Twitter, and I would watch the feed, and people would be saying, "Oh, gold is gonna go down today. It's bearish, bearish," and maybe I had a different opinion, and that would really mess with me. I like to follow other traders and stuff and see what they're doing, but not while I'm trading. After I'm done trading, then I go and see how everybody did for the day. Not while I'm trading. Not when I have my graphs open.
Most traders, right? They're by themselves when it's time to trade. Do you like that? Do you like, being able to just be by yourself or, does it ever like maybe feel lonely or anything like that?
I never really feels lonely. I think trading is, it is lonely in general. I would like to trade with other people, but it kind of gets me a little nervous. I feel like if other people are watching me, they expect you to have winning trades all the time. And I feel like it just puts a little bit more pressure on. You trading next to somebody or watching you or somebody that wants to learn. It just puts a little bit of pressure on myself, and I think that's a big part of the psychology is, if you master your psychology, then, that shouldn't be an issue, but just mastering the psychology is just really hard. I would say that's about the hardest part in, my journey because I still have problems with the psychology, and I think it's just a really big factor in trading. It's extremely hard to master the psychology.
Do you think psychology is something that ever just goes away, or do you think maybe we just get better at managing it?
I think the only way that you can improve your psychology is through the experience. You take so many losses, you get hurt so much that eventually you just learn from it. That's with everything. With any goals. If it gets in the way of it, eventually you'll get tired of it, and you just want to do something about it. And I just feel like that's the way that it improves.
8 years ago, Leo, right? To now, Leo. What do you feel trading has changed about you or just maybe helped you in life in general?
I would say it has made me patient. It also has made me look at money a different way, just because of the way that you could obtain the money through trading. So I really like trading, and it's like a no-brainer. You do it from anywhere in the world. You can make as much money as you want, and at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for yourself. So it's another thing. I think it's made me a little bit more responsible on because anything that you do with your accounts, it's on you. It's not anybody's fault. So it's kind of taught me to take accountability and just be more responsible. Be more patient and wait for things to come to you. Back then, I didn't look at things like that. Back then I thought it was get rich overnight. I had no idea. Like I said, 8 years ago, I had no idea that what trading really was about. I mean, trading is a lot bigger than what people think, and a lot of people say they want to learn trading. They see people making profits, they see people making posts about it, and everybody wants to learn. They're interested in it, but I think a lot of people don't understand that this is not something that you just learn and you do as a side thing. I feel like this is more of something that you have to live through every single day. So that's something that I mean, I had no idea that it would really be like that back then. I thought this would just be, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna place a trade, and I'm go about my day, and it's completely not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it difficult, right, when you first come in and maybe the background, maybe your parents don't come from the financial market or stuff like that. A lot, your typical person is used to just, working, exchanging time for money. So was it difficult for you to be like, wow, like you can really just make income remotely, without having to wake up early, without having to work 14 hours every day? Do you think that played some type of role in like trying to unblock something for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I come from, my parents have always worked their whole life. I've been around. My whole family's always been really hardworking. They're old school, and they show up to work every day. They wake up, and I don't have a problem with working, but I just didn't want to work and kind of be tied up to somebody, or to a company or like that. So that's kind of what opened my eyes into trading, is the freedom working every single day, being clocked in somewhere. It's very difficult, and I feel like there's not a lot of opportunities that can free you from that, and I think trading is something that could do that for you. When I was in high school, I used to always say that I wanted to do something that had to do with the internet because I feel in our day and age, I feel like everything is just revolves around the internet. This is something that has to do with the internet, so I've always kind of just wanted to look for something to do with the internet anyways because I feel that's, what our world revolves around now.
So now with, 2 years actively, but about 8 years of total experience in and out, you have someone who comes to you maybe, or, they hear that you trade, you're profitable, you figured it out. What would be the number one piece of advice you would give a brand new trader?
I don't know if it's really considered advice, but something that I would tell somebody is that it's not going to come overnight, and it's probably not going to come over a month or 2 months. But this is going to take a long time. So I guess an advice would just be to be really patient and not to give up, because it takes a long time. Maybe if you find the right person, and they teach you, I guess, how to do it a little quicker, then it's good. That you could do it a little faster, but I think for the majority, it just takes a long time. So I would just say, be really patient and just don't quit.
Right? You would go on these breaks, right? 3 month break, 6 month break. You always came back. But along that journey, right? How close were you to really, really quitting for real, for real? Like, I don't want to do this no more.
So the last time that I had a live account, I deposited a pretty big amount of money and I lost it. I just felt like I was just getting taken. The market was just. I was putting the money in, I was getting taken, putting the money in, getting taken, and I said, you know what? I don't know anybody else that trades and is profitable. So I said, I don't know anybody that does this. The only people that I see, they're online, and most of them sell courses. So I kind of started thinking that, I mean, it was kind of rigged, that it was just too hard for just anybody to do it. So, I did want to give up this last time that I lost that amount of money, and at the same time, I was in so deep now that I couldn't quit now. I mean, I was already in so much money that I lost. I said, I have to get it back, even with prop firms, I bought a lot of challenges before and I've lost them. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stop. I'm going to slow down. But, the goal is to get all the money back, so that's kind of what I did. I was just in too deep to quit. I couldn't quit anymore. I had to figure it out. Whether it was going to take me 8 years or 10 years, I wasn't going to quit. I had to get myself back up.
It was too late to turn around.
Yeah. I mean, now, I have a few accounts. If I were to blow all my accounts now, hopefully that doesn't happen. That's not the goal to blow any accounts, but, we all have losing streaks. And, if I were to go on a losing streak that, causes me to lose an account, or it'll make me feel bad, but quitting wouldn't even cross my mind, like nowhere near.
The skill set is solidified now.
Yes, yes. I mean, like I said, everybody takes losses and, just got to learn how to deal with them and, have self control. If you lose a trade, lose 3 trades, walk away. You have a losing week, maybe take a break. Every single time you blow an account, it's like a learning experience, So it seems bad, because you lose some money, you blow the account, but you learn something from it.
How are you now with when you do take those losses? A lot of the times, a losing trade, it feels like it hurts your ego almost, right? Like, oh, I'm a bad trader. I don't know what I'm doing. I suck, right? Have you been able to flip that switch where is, oh, I lost, it's part of my strategy?
When I follow my trading plan and I take a loss and I know that I entered a trade that was good, it was high probability, and I still lose, I'm able to walk away from it and not think too much of it. I just say, I'll come back, that I have a reason why I was in that trade. It just didn't work out. Losses are going to happen. But I feel like when I enter trades that are not high probability and I lose, it's happened to me before where I kind of go on tilt and I kind of want to just enter again and enter again. And that leads you down a very bad road. And so it's tough, But if I take a loss and, I said, you know what, I got into this trade because of this, this, and that, and I lose, I'm okay walking away. But it's just sometimes when you get into that gambler mindset, when you take a loss and you're like, I'm gonna get this back and I'm gonna double it and I'm gonna make all this money. Those are the bad losses that just keep bringing more losses. And I'm sure a lot of people have gone through that. Take a loss, enter back in without even a reason, just to get the money back, and that never ends well.
Well, Leo, we appreciate your time this evening. It was a pleasure hearing your story. I was able to learn something from it. I know whoever is watching this is going to be able to get something from it. We appreciate your time this evening. We wish you the best of the luck. Congratulations again on your first interview. And we hope to see you again, Leo. You amazing story, and thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.